In commentary of the day, it's Motherwell against Ross County with Billy Dodds and Rob McLean.
Thanks, Kenny. The natives were restless here at Fir Park last weekend. Sunday afternoon against Partick Thistle, playing for the last place in the last 16 of the Premier Sports Cup. It was a shootout between the pair of them, and Motherwell got lucky, no doubt about it, to scrape through. All they needed was a point. That's all they got from a goalless draw. They lost in the shootout. That seemed fitting at the end of a pretty low-key afternoon from the home team, and there was a fair bit of frustration in the stands and a fair bit of booing going on for a game that we hadn't even got to the end of July by that stage, but they made it through, and Stuart Kettle will be looking for a big response from his team as the Premiership for them gets underway right here, and that is kick-off at Fir Park. And as we look at it, the home team playing left to right, and immediately Ross County launch a ball into the box, bouncing in front of Aston Oxborough, and he leaped above. James Brown had got forward on the end of it. Ronan Hale was in there as well, the goalkeeper managing to get the gloves around it early on as Ross County went direct right from the start. But the home team with something to prove here, and Stuart Kettlewell, who we're looking down on at the moment, will be demanding that they are much more convincing this time out, Billy Dodds.
Yeah, they've got a good turnout of Motherwell fans here as well. They'll be expecting better, and surely there will be a better performance from Motherwell. But Ross County started well, not a bad ploy, Rob, direct, as you said, from the kick-off. Launch out to John White, he wins the flick on, and Hale was nearly on the end of it. Yeah,
his crossfield ball blocked, and Motherwell have the ball back, and it's Dragovic in the middle of the pitch alongside Andy Halliday, with Lennon Miller in a much more advanced area. Good work from Ewan Wilson down the left-hand side for Motherwell. He started last weekend as well, the 19-year-old academy graduate, and he certainly was one of the more impressive players. The two youngest players in the team were probably their best players last weekend, but they were way below par, and they were very fortunate that their League Cup campaign continues. Liam Gordon on the ball in the middle of the Motherwell defence, works it forward towards Lennon Miller, but Ross County snapping into the challenges early on to ensure that Motherwell have no time on the ball. Just a sliver of shadow on the pitch, which looks, as you would expect, pristine. Blue skies overhead, and as the ball is sent downfield, it's returned again by Liam Gordon, the middleman of the back three for Motherwell. But they were disjointed all over the pitch last weekend. They weren't functioning defensively, and there was really no point in the game where they had much fluency about them at all. Zach Robinson under pressure as he gets the ball with his back to goal. County launch it forward. Liam Gordon curls one down the line. Robinson chasing, and the ball is headed out of play by Ryan Leake, who's wearing number 3 this season. He's left of the County back three.
It's just a channel ball from Motherwell, and Robinson the willing runner, but Leake covers across. Sometimes basic football's the best to get you up the pitch, and on that occasion it was for Motherwell. I watched Conor Randall there, went into the challenge with Zach Robinson just before that, picked up a sore one. He was limping about there, so have to keep an eye on him.
From the throw-in, Stephen O'Donnell on the ball, works it infield, fired down the side towards Lennon Miller, who started on the right half of the pitch here. He was left side last weekend. Stuart Kettlewell shuffling things around a little. Moses B.A. rolls it to the byline for Ewan Wilson, but it just bounces away from the youngster and behind for a goal kick. Ross County won only 1 of 4 against Motherwell last season, and they were on the end of a couple of heavy defeats. They twice shipped 5 goals against Stuart Kettlewell's team last season. There was also a 3-3 draw. I'm not going to say anything about guaranteeing goals, so that's a dangerous game to play. 3.5 minutes gone, 0-0 at Fir Park as Stephen O'Donnell heads the ball into the centre circle. It's returned, and he has it again, and he has to react quickly with 2 County players, Hale and White, bearing down on him. Back it goes to Oxborough and out to Blaney, who tries to switch it across to O'Donnell, but leaping high was George Harman to get a glancing header on it. Out it goes, And it's a throw-in from Motherwell, right-hand side, midway into county territory. Bowled in field by O'Donnell to Robinson. Under pressure, Motherwell, when they're on the ball. It was worked back to Gordon and played long, and a ball down the side will be left alone by Ryan Leake. I think he was hoping it would go, but it stuck on the grass, and he in the end had to play it. Harmon, left-hand side, down the line. Hale chasing. Gordon in control. And now Shane Blaney takes the ball up to halfway. And Ewan Wilson's on the move, and he might just catch this on the byline, maybe not. Just thought it might hold up for him. It looked initially as if it was overhit, and in the end that was the accurate assumption.
I can understand why you said it, because sometimes the grass is thicker at the start of the season. It holds the ball up, people are able to go on to the end of it. Just wasn't to be in that occasion. It was just overhit, but good thought process, try to play it in behind the wing back in the right centre half of Ross County, and try to get young Ewan Wilson down that left hand side, just overhit. And surely we're getting goals. I'll say it for you.
Okay.
You can't start the season with 2-0 now, surely.
I'm not going to argue with you, Dodsey, but it's good to get that rider in early on. That just because last season there were goals aplenty between these two. Yes, you want to win on the first day of the season. You also don't want to lose. James Brown with a throw-in for Ross County, right-hand side. Ifete dropping out. He played that position last weekend, and comes a cross ball, and it's a header for Jordan White early on. He was heading away from goal. It was a looping effort, comfortable for Oxborough, but it does look as if that could be a tasty partnership up top for Ross County this season. Little and large combination of Ronan Hale and Jordan White.
Yeah, when the cross come in, you know he'll go on the end. He's stood back the way you say, so he can only loop it. But Oxborough, he had to watch it all the way because it was spinning and he was on the line, so any mistake, he might have carried the ball over the line. So I had to be careful, Oxborough.
County looking to make some progress down the right-hand side. Wright was involved, and now Victor Laturi looking to thread his way through the midfield. It's cluttered in there, though. Difficult to find any sort of room to play. It's been pretty tight and tense so far, and now it's Dan Casey up to the halfway line for Motherwell, but it was played into Lennon Miller, and unlike him, he flashes a pass out wide towards O'Donnell. It was in the vague direction of O'Donnell, but it flies out of play, not like him.
Motherwell have tweaked it from last week. They played the box in behind the main striker, and they couldn't really get support. Now it's like the two up front with one off, and Dravkovsky, he's just sitting in front of the back four, allowing Halliday and Miller to get forward. So it's Abayi and Robertson up front, so a little tweak from Motherwell.
Leake making a muscular run down the left-hand side, kept out by the challenge of Moses Ebiye. It's going to be is it a free kick or a throw-in? It's going to be a free kick for that challenge from Moses Ebiye. He's the one changing the Motherwell team from last Sunday. It's a free kick, a couple of yards in from the touchline left-hand side. Early chance here for Ross County to get the ball in the box. 7.5 minutes gone, goalless. Left for George Harmon to swing it in, left-footed, a looping header from the back post, but again confident handling from Oxborough. Jordan White couldn't get close enough to him to be a threat, and the goalkeeper just rolls it out to Blaney, and then Wilson, left-hand side for Motherwell. Played up towards Robinson, getting no time on the ball, and it's shuffled out of play on that far side.
Just to touch on Ross County, I mean, we said it was such a tight game, and it's just mirrored formations, because we wondered how Ross County would line up with maybe a front three, but it's not. It's White and Hale with Grieve just off of them, so two teams playing 3-5-2, winner takes all.
Played up towards Zach Robinson. He was having a shirt pulled. Looked fairly obvious from here, certainly did to the Motherwell fans, but John Beaton not too interested in it. Ryan Leake was the County player involved, got away with one there, and the ball has gone out on the far side. The County right there throw-in. James Brown, one of 4 changes made by Don Cowie, who, as his brother Paul has part of the coaching team now, having gone to Dingwall from Dundee United. O'Donnell forward down the right-hand side for Lennon Miller. Another clumsy challenge by Leake. Down goes the 17-year-old. You have to remind yourself constantly that he is still only 17. I think it's next month, or maybe later this month, he has his 18th birthday, Lennon Miller. And I guess the Motherwell fans pleasantly surprised that he's still here, because all sorts of admiring glances in his direction from clubs with money to spend. But Motherwell will enjoy him while he's still here. Liam Gordon taking the ball up to the centre circle, then plays it wide to O'Donnell. It's a pretty aimless ball infield from the Motherwell vice-captain. Possession surrendered pretty cheaply. Harmon for County plays it down the left-hand side, looking for Hale. It's well won by Casey, who prods it forward. Leake clearing for County. It's not the beautiful game so far, that's for sure. 10 minutes gone. Pretty scrappy stuff. Both teams just looking to instill their style of play into the game, but at the moment doing a pretty good job of cancelling each other out.
Yeah, but it's hard to get going when the opposition mirrors you, and it's the exact same. It's just man for man all over the pitch. Hard to find space, hard to get anything going, but I'm sure we'll get some sort of attacks and chances throughout the match.
Motherwell making some progress down the left-hand side. They win a throw-in 15 yards from the flag. That boisterous section of the Motherwell support in behind Ewan Wilson as he kicks the throw-in. Moses Abie can't do too much with it. In comes the cross ball from Blaney, headed behind by Will Nightingale, and we have the first corner kick for the match.
Yeah, it's just basic football again that's getting the most joy in the match. Just that left-hand side throw-in comes in and just whipped in, and Nightingale's got to be in a good position just beyond that front post to clear it for the corner.
Corner kick on the left-hand side. Motherwell nil, Ross County nil, 11 minutes played. Lennon Miller to deliver from the corner kick, played in with lots of pace, not convincingly cleared, but Motherwell couldn't get the shot away, and now counter-attack possibility for James Brown down the left-hand side. The right wing-back plays a lovely cross-field ball, and it's well dealt with by Wilson. The youngster staying really calm and composed, because it did look as if that cross-field ball from Brown was going to hit its target.
Nearly, and I'm sure you were thinking the same as me. I was thinking, does James Brown get that in the locker, clearing up the danger at the edge of the box, busting to the left-hand side, having to rake a probably 60-70 yard pass? Yeah. And he did. He dug it out well. It just didn't have enough to beat the defender, or it was maybe putting Hale through and goal.
Akil Wright on the right side of the back three for County. Nightingale in the middle, Leake on the left. And Ryan Leake plays the ball to Victor Luturia on the left-hand side. He has Lennon Miller all over him. And back it goes to Ross Laidlaw. And now Akil Wright getting forward, playing a dangerous-looking ball inside. It was never finding Conor Randall. And now Lennon Miller driving forward with the ball for Motherwell, out to the left-hand side, swings across into the middle, cleared by Brown, and County managed to win a 50-50 at the edge of the area as well. Dangerous for a moment, that ball into the box. County managing to scramble it clear.
Yeah, and he's got to stay all the way with him, James Brown, who finds himself out this left-hand side, and they stayed there. Hammond switched to the right just because he found himself out in this position, trying to rake that ball through to set up the Ross County attack. And it was a battle of the wing-backs, because Stephen O'Donnell was into that back post, the in-swinging cross. If he misses it, James Brown, I'm sure O'Donnell taps it in the net, but good defending.
County have an opportunity here with Ronan Hale picking the ball up in the midfield, and the ball breaks back towards Jack Greaves. In went Liam Gordon. All pretty untidy stuff, and in the end the ball flies behind for a goal kick. This game still to settle with 13.5 minutes gone. Earlier, Hearts 0, Rangers 0 in the Premiership at Tynecastle. Last night, of course, Falkirk 2, Queen's Park 1 in the Championship. Falkirk could be a big player, although I do hesitate when I say that in the company of Billy Dodds, because sometimes you can take your comments out of context. But it's going to be highly competitive, as we well know in the Championship.
So Partick Thistle this week, last week Falkirk this week, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I could name all 10, as you well know.
Just throwing it out there.
Exactly. We'll keep you across the 4 games in the Championship being played today. It's going to be interesting to see who does get started with a win. Here in the Premiership, a throw in for Ross County, left-hand side, George Harmon to take it, and the ball is cushioned back to him by Hale, further back towards Ryan Leake on the left-hand side, just underneath us, in the shadow of the main stand at Fir Park. 0-0. Across it goes from Nightingale to right. Right on the touchline is James Brown. He is in his customary position this time on the right side. His cross blocked by Wilson. Looks a promising player. He's a big unit, Ewan Wilson, and he's settled almost seamlessly into this Motherwell first team. He will be a plus, you would imagine, at the moment in the mind of Stuart Kettlewell, but he'll be looking for other more experienced players in the team to do a lot more this weekend than they did last time out. Leaks pass forward, asking a lot of Ronan Hale. Motherwell win it, and Lennon Miller just hurried his pass. There's another phrase you don't use too often. He was looking to play in Moses Abiye, but he didn't leave the striker with a chance.
I think it's Robinson's the best one because it was just a straight ball, and Abiy wasn't really wanting it, didn't really dart or bust in behind the Ross County defence, whereas Robinson, he was off and he was running. If he just hooked a little reverse pass, it might have put Motherwell through.
Nightingale on the ball. Don Cowie happy to have him back again. In the middle of the pitch, Conor Randall. That's a great ball wide right for James Brown. Cuts inside, gets the break of the ball, in on the half volley, and Dan Casey with a bullet header to get that out of the box. That looked very promising for Ross County. Here they come again with a flick from Laturi, and now Harmon down the left side, and it's Ronan Hale who peels out wide. 3 goals in 2 games already for the former Cliftonville striker. He doesn't get the nod on the decision, though. Underneath us, it will be a Motherwell throw-in, and it's 0-0 with 16 minutes played.
Casey did well, got nice and tight, got the tackle in, showing the robust side of him, and he hit it off. Hale got to be a wee bit quicker. Really good attack from Ross County with that diagonal. Young Ewan Wilson just switched off for a second. It was a great run from James Brown to a lovely touch, floated in across, which was cleared, but good intention from Ross County in that right hand side.
That's good play on the attack from Brown down both right and left hand side in the last few minutes, looking as if he can play a part on the offensive for the Dingwall team. Wilson's clearance comes straight back to him. This time it's Liam Gordon who launches it, and it's just going to bounce. Well, looked as if goalkeeper Laidlaw could have waited for that and caught it, chose to head it away instead, and up has gone an offside flag.
It's one of those that's worth a chase, as you said, just holding up the surface, one bounce, and then Laidlaw's not sure if it's in the box or just on the line or just outside, so takes no chances. You can't blame him, gets a head on it, knocks it clear.
Goalless at Fir Park so far on BBC Radio Scotland, as the SPFL season gets itself underway. That win for Falkirk in the Championship last night, the first Premiership game goalless at Tynecastle. And some attractive games tomorrow, including the Dundee Derby, which will be intriguing. Good to have that fixture back with us as Laidlaw plays the ball out to Leake. Is that Jim Goodwin in
Just
front of us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Taking in some future opposition, obviously. Big game tomorrow.
Long ball from Nightingale for Ross County up towards Jordan White. Too much on it. And in the end, Casey was just able to duck under it and let the ball bounce back to Oxborough, who rolls the ball into the midfield for Macedonian Dravkovsky. Goal at Hamilton for Leanne.
It is, Rob, yes, and it's for the visitors. It's George Stanger that's put the visitors in front. It was a second phase from a corner, ball put back into the box. Hamilton Aki stood with their hands up in there looking for the offside. Stanger just takes a touch and he stabs the ball home from 4 yards out. It's Hamilton 0, Ayr United 1.
Cheers, Leanne. A win for Falkirk last night, getting the Championship underway against Queen's Park And that's Ayr United's first goal of the championship season.
You throw them into the mix
New
as
Douglas
well?
Park, yeah, they're in the mix too. That's only the 3 teams I've tipped for the title.
You'll get the winner at some point.
I'll get round them all at some stage, I would imagine. Will Nightingale on the ball, middleman of the back 3 for County. Left side it goes to Leake, just inside the Motherwell half. Now it's Harman, cluttered area. Motherwell not allowing him to make that jinking run in field that he wanted. The ball goes out for a throw-in underneath us. It is Harman to take it. Socks rolled down around his ankles in traditional fashion, and the ball goes back to Ryan Leake on halfway. Now it's Nightingale, and he's lost out, and Zach Robinson is in. Big chance for Robinson, and he's missed it. He tried to dink it inside the post as Laidlaw rushed off his line. It's gone wide of target. Motherwell should have been a goal ahead.
And Nightingale will breathe a sigh of relief. I mean, he turns in and think, oh, don't turn in the pitch here, son, and he does. And Zach Robinson, he reads it, but he does everything correctly because he puts his body across Nightingale so that he can't touch him. If he touches him, he's down, he's probably off. And then he shapes up, opens up the body and think, oh, okay, you've done brilliantly. You've got the wrong side of the defender, you've got your body across him. Just bend it in that far corner. It's the only thing he got wrong. He bent it, but he bent it wide of the post. What a chance for Motherwell to take the lead.
It is again Robinson nicking the ball off Nightingale, who's having a bit of a shocker in the last couple of minutes, and he really overplayed that, the Ross County defender. And as Dodsey said, a massive sigh of relief as Robinson was unable to take the opportunity. Like you, he just seemed to be doing everything right, Zach Robinson. He opened up his body. I was expecting the ball to be nestling in the bottom corner. It went wide of target, and you wonder how costly that might be for Motherwell. He had a shot tipped onto the crossbar against Partick Thistle last weekend. Here come County in response. Jack Greaves down the left-hand side, plays it in low, and Drakowski was there to fend that away, out for a throw-in. 10 yards from the corner flag for Ross County. Left-hand side, 21 minutes gone, and the biggest opportunity of the game has come and gone for Zach Robinson. Let's get the latest from the Tattyhead. I think you decided, Chick, Airdrie against Wraith Rovers.
Yeah, the Tattyhead Stadium, it's I think we'll nickname it from here on in. It's the home team who've had the better of this opening spell, Rob. They've played some sweet football. They haven't really been too much business to handle for either goalkeeper, but it was the best chance of the game so far. Ben Wilson on the end of a long kick out from his goalkeeper, from Murray Johnston. It was one and he got broke through into the box, had a shot, came off someone over the crossbar. It's still Airdrie 0, Wraith Rovers 0.
Livingston against Dunfermline, we'll get to in a moment. In fact, with the ball going astray, we'll go there right now. Amy is watching Livingston against Dunfermline. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Rob. Not an awful lot happening here at all, to be totally honest with you. The home fans are grown a little bit concerned. Dunfermline, just in the last few minutes, Lewis McCann and young Taylor Sutherland up front are managing to get the better. Unsurprisingly, Taylor Sutherland, his 18-year-old, is getting the better of Ryan McGowan at the back as he makes his Livingston debut in the Championship. He has featured in the League Cup. And up the other end, though, Tete Yenge, who is an absolute unit. I've seen him at the tail end of last season, but I feel over the summer he has just grown. And he's a couple months younger than me, and I think he's a good couple feet taller than me. It's absolutely frightening to watch him at the back up against Kyle Benedictus, who's no small lad himself. He's got quite a handful with him, but it remains 0-0 here just as the ball once again goes out of play.
Let's head to Firhill then. Partick Thistle against Morton Calmac.
Yeah, Rob, much like that Livingston game, there's not a lot to report here. In fact, it's Morton that have settled the quicker. I've got 3 notes in front of me. All 3 of them are Morton chances. Owen Moffin with a shot wide early on. A great chance for J. Emmanuel Thomas, who's back in Scottish football shortly after that. He tried to give the keeper the eyes, but the Partick Thistle keeper, Miles Roberts, stood up well and managed to stop it with his feet. And then again, some nice feet from Jet, who is another big unit of a player. Nice feet on the edge of the box, but he shot well over. Partick Thistle aren't really in the game as yet. It's still Partick Thistle 0, Morton 0.
I think I might be struggling to beat your 3 notes, to be honest, in terms of the first half at Fir Park. One significant note, that big chance for Zach Robinson, which he was unable to take after Nightingale's mistake. It stays goalless here so far. as Jordan White wins the ball in the middle of the pitch. John Beaton had a look and said play on, and it goes out wide right to James Brown, who plays it back to Akil Wright. His cross floating into the box. Up goes Jordan White. Wasn't the worst idea, because Jordan White is so prolific in those aerial tussles, but he had Aston Oxborough, the goalkeeper, to contend with, who's 6'5", and when you stretch your gloves above that, probably 7'3", so he took it pretty easily.
He should be taking it, but it's a dodgy one, isn't it? And it was a good advantage from John Beaton to let Jordan White put it wide, because he carries on his run at the box and then runs across the goalkeeper, but Oxborough watches it all the way.
24.5 minutes gone at Fir Park. BBC Radio Scotland, Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. We're still waiting for a Premiership goal after a goalless draw at Tynecastle earlier. O'Donnell down the line. Moses Obiye plays it inside. Zach Robinson gets there first. Nightingale prods it away, out for a throw-in close to the corner flag. Looking to build up ahead of steam, Motherwell, but it's been a stuttering start to the game. Looking for something drastically different to last weekend. Forward from Dravkovsky. Again, uncertain defending, and O'Donnell looks to combine with Lennon Miller down the right-hand side. Back out it goes, into the feet now of Robinson, just outside the box, laid back, and the shot from Blaney takes a... Well, it looked as if it took a deflection, but it couldn't have done, or if it did, it must have been one of his teammates. Anyway, it's gone wide. 25 minutes gone 0-0.
He just screwed the shot into the ground, Blaney. But I'll tell you what, if Robinson, when it played into him, had seen the run of Obiye, he was just in the right channel, and I thought he was just going to reverse it into him, but just laid it off for Blaney to have the shot. If he had seen Obiye, he'd have put him through 1v1, because Leek had dropped him and just taken his eye off him. So it was a little chance for Motherwell, but better play in the search for this opening goal.
Just looking at Ricky Lamy a few rows in front of us here at Fir Park. Former Motherwell player, of course, among many clubs at Ross County at the moment, but injured and unavailable for this one. Nightingale taking his place today, and Nightingale almost contributing to the opening goal of the game for the home team. Dravkovsky from Motherwell feeds it forward to Robinson on halfway. Coming tight initially was Ryan Leake, then he dropped off and retook his place at the back for Ross County, looking to get something out of this opening day of the season for the Dingwall team. Miller feeds the ball back to Casey on the halfway line from Motherwell. Infield it goes in the centre circle. Liam Gordon, the former St Johnstone skipper, gets it back from Blaney. Just patient play at the moment for Motherwell before it's played forward and laid off towards Wilson. Wilson feeds it into Dravkovsky, right in the middle of the pitch, to Moses Obiye, and out wide for O'Donnell. Forward goes Casey, just looking for a bit more movement up ahead, and the delay allowed Harmon to block the cross eventually from O'Donnell. Out for a Motherwell throw-in down the right-hand side.
I think the Motherwell performance has been better than last week, just because they've got the two targets, the two threats up front, bit of better movement, getting into better areas, not having to turn back, which we saw a lot of last week. So sure, Kettlewell will be pretty happy with their start, even though it's an evenly matched game.
Ball fired forward for Ross County, looking to pick out the Jordan White run down the left-hand side. Liam Gordon saw it coming. Liam Gordon, who's had a bleach hairdo between last weekend and this one. He wouldn't have wanted last weekend anything really to pick him out and identify him too much, because pretty unimpressive from him, but the collective was unimpressive for Motherwell. Wilson, Halliday feeds it back. Dravkovsky down the left side of the box. The cutback is in. Brilliant save from Laidlaw, and the full-out shot is blocked. And then it's Wilson firing too high. It was Moses Obiye on the end of the cutback, and it was a reflex stop. A really good save from Ross Laidlaw.
Yeah, it was brilliant play from Motherwell, just a run and then a lovely touch, squared it back across goal. Obiye, I thought he scores. Got to give Laidlaw credit, because he blocks it from point blank range, gets it away, and then they hit the rebound over the crossbar, Motherwell. But again, good play from them, good movement, should have been the opening goal.
And I think that just underlines what you're saying, Dodsey, that Motherwell, they just look a lot more comfortable in their shape here. The the performances individually have been better, and they are creating opportunities. That was one, and the earlier one for Zach Robinson was a golden chance to go in front. Here they go again, another good strong run from Wilson in towards Robinson, and Ross County are being tested out defensively here, and at the moment they will just look to hang on in there with 29 minutes played, still goalless, but Motherwell knocking on the door.
Yeah, you've got 2 targets, and it means a hell of a lot more if you can have options to. I think that was the problem. I think Stuart's probably going away and analysed last week and thought when we were in possession we were looking up forward and there was no options, no targets, but this week they're getting into feet, both the strikers holding it up, and they've created a few chances.
Victor Laturi helping out defensively for County. The pressure has been incessant over the last 4 or 5 minutes from Motherwell. They will feel that the pressure will pay off if they can maintain it. County at the moment will just look to take the sting out of the game, because they've needed Ross Laidlaw to be on form with that reflex stop from Moses Ebie, and they also needed Zach Robinson to be wasteful in front of goal when he raced in on Laidlaw. Should have done a whole lot better than curl his shot wide of the post. Laidlaw clears the ball downfield. White loses out in the aerial tussle with Casey. Leak looking to let the ball go initially, then he had to play it under pressure from Miller. Back it goes for Ross Laidlaw to launch it upfield again. Laturi and White were both trying to get on the end of that, and in the end Motherwell have a man down, and they will get a free kick for the challenge on Dravkovsky.
I think you've nailed it in terms of Ross County just trying to slow it down. I watched James Brown take a throw in because he realised in the last 10 minutes, just coming up 31 minutes played, the last 10 minutes Motherwell have been in top, they've created excellent opportunities and probably been the dominant team, so it's just about killing the game, getting through this period, maybe even try to get to half time and maybe tweak a few things. Ross County.
Conor Randall on the ball, the Ross County captain. We've seen little of him in the game so far. Brown plays it back. Laturi is there, the Canadian international. Akio right to Will Nightingale. Nightingale will want to be playing the ball away quickly, having been caught out earlier. Laturi with a nice angled ball into the box, and Ronan Hale couldn't get on the end of it, but he held his arm up as the ball was bouncing out of play to say that was a pretty decent idea.
Yeah, he's got good movement. He's very slight. I've watched a few of the balls up to him, and players like Casey and Gordon coming through him, he's got to be a wee bit more physical, but his movement's good so far in the match. Hill.
Cross ball in from the left hand side from Motherwell, headed away by Leak, and the clearance is completed by Akil Wright. Getting some good combinations, Motherwell, getting into good areas, and they really are putting Ross County under pressure in this first half, and the home team will feel that they deserve to be in front at this stage, and they have had the chances to go with that. 32 minutes gone, Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. That was the final score at Tynecastle earlier between Hearts and Rangers, as the cross ball comes in from Ewan Wilson left hand side, but always too long, and Ross Laidlaw was able to watch that flying well wide of target. Ayr United a goal up in the Championship at Hamilton, and last night of course Falkirk 2, Queen's Park 1. Laidlaw's goal kick is airborne towards Jordan White. Towering above him was Liam Gordon, and it's Nightingale with a header forward, and in the end an interception by Victor Laturi. Absolutely fired a ball back at Akil Wright, who dealt with it really comfortably despite the degree of difficulty.
Yeah, from the big centre half, a wee test, absolutely lasered that and just brought it down and strode forward. Really good play from the big centre half.
Casey clearing for Motherwell. Harmon's touch not good. Moses Ebie intercepting. Randall goes in against Lennon Miller to try to win the ball. As it ran loose in the middle of the pitch, Lennon Miller stays down. The county captain pleads his innocence. He's an important figure, isn't he, right in the middle of the pitch for Ross County, and I guess that's borne out by the fact that he's been given the captain's armband.
Yeah, he is, but I would think when the ball broke there, and that's why you're looking in that area, Rob, and I was the same, and after that challenge from him, and Randall is important, it fell to Laturi, and I would think Don Cowie's looking for a bit more assuredness from them, like keep possession, a bit of belief that we can keep the ball better, but Laturi just fired out the pitch. So sometimes take a touch, even if it's just to make a basic pass, just to get the team to grow in confidence, because they've not been in it the last 10-15 minutes.
Ronan Hale loses the ball. He was looking for a bit more support there. He was throwing his arms out wide saying, who wants this? Where is my pass? And in the end, he dwelt on the ball too long and deprived of possession. Here's Randall in the middle of the pitch looking for the pass, goes left to Harmon, and George Harmon immediately turns it back in the direction of Ryan Leake. Nightingale to right, and Laturi stationing himself out on that side. James Brown is there as well, touches the ball infield, down goes Conor Randall. Ross County will have a free kick for the challenge, and they'll look to make the most of this. They haven't had too much from open play, so maybe a set piece is their best chance of breaking the deadlock.
But much better though, just exactly what I'm talking about in terms of basic passes sometimes plays to your advantage, because they built out this left hand side. You talked about Harmon just laying it back, they build it out to the right, they hit a pass in the pitch to Randall, he strides forward, gets beyond his man's, brought down, and they get a free kick, a good position on that right hand side, 35-40 yards from goal.
Jack Reeves over it, George Harmon as well. The players lined up at the edge of the area. Ross County looking for a breakthrough in Lanarkshire. George Harmon leaves it to Jack Greaves, floated back post, and a header well won by Stephen O'Donnell, flicking that to safety. They've certainly got plenty to throw at these set pieces, Ross County, but Motherwell defending it well.
Yeah, O'Donnell watched it all the way because Leake was in behind them, just going to knock it back across goal, but they get the throw in.
And George Harmon to take the throw in for Ross County. Flings it in near post. Casey's header away. Randall got there first, but didn't get contact on the ball for the pass. And now Motherwell looking to counter those long strides of Ewan Wilson down the left-hand side. And Akil Wright did well defensively just to nick the ball out of play.
Looks if he can shift the big fella right down that right centre half. Anything in that channel, he's covered across a couple of times. Then there was a foot race there with Wilson, and he came out top of that. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. County has survived again in the relegation playoffs at the end of last season. They would like to be in a more comfortable position this time around, but then there's lots of teams that want that mid-table safety or aiming even higher. But it's going to be mighty competitive, you feel, this season. Free kick for Motherwell, 15 yards inside their own half. Liam Gordon to take it, and just 8 first half minutes remaining. Not a match to get the pulse racing, you would say, but it's certainly been competitive, and certainly Motherwell have had the edge. Leak clearing as Casey probed at the Dingwall defence. Then it's hooked forward by Liam Gordon. The knockdown finds Lennon Miller. Off and running was Casey down the side. But in the end, the interception from Conor Randall, and not a bad diagonal in behind the Motherwell defence, and James Brown was scurrying forward. Off his line came Oxborough. Now it's Laturi for Jordan White. Well-timed challenge, Liam Gordon, but it's going to stay in. And it's Akil Wright pounding down that side. Back for James Brown. His cross ball, in went Hale, and that was really good defending again from Stephen O'Donnell. Saw the danger, timed it well. Brown with another cross, this time charged down. Back it goes to Nightingale again. Almost caught on the ball for a second time. And the first time he did that, Zach Robinson should have scored.
You think you would learn, wouldn't you? But it's a better couple of minutes for Ross County ever since he got that free kick with good play. Then they've shifted the ball about, and James Brown again putting a wonderful cross at Stephen O'Donnell had to defend ever so well because Hale was in behind him to knock in the net from 6 yards, but he put it on a sixpence, didn't he, right on the edge of that 6 yard box, middle from James Brown, out in that right hand side, a whip cross from about 40 yards out.
What a lovely bit of play from George Harmon for County. It ends up with Jack Greaves close to the corner flag. Back to Harmon, thought about the cross. Now he does on the right foot, but it's charged down by Lennon Miller. Lovely bit of play from Harmon. Then he had 3 Motherwell players around him. Great feet, great balance, and suddenly he left all 3 in his tracks. Here he is again, the left wing back. Lennon Miller's challenge. The ball's caught under Harmon, and it will be a free kick for the home team.
Yeah, it was a good piece of play, Rob. I was trying to obviously talk about James Brown delivering. I was watching in front of me when he did that and got down the left. I don't know why he never delivered it after that, because it come back to him, laid the 2v1 situation high up the pitch, left side of the box, and he chose to take a touch and then put it on his right foot. Strange decision from Harmon, because he should have just put it in the box, because as you've been saying all commentary, they have height in the box, especially with Jordan White, where they can go on the end of things.
40 minutes played. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. Ryan Leake's header away. Back from Lennon Miller to Moses Ebi. Wanted too much time on the ball. Jack Greaves under pressure though as Motherwell win it back. Ewan Wilson to Davor Dravkovsky. Fires it out wide. Can Motherwell create from this position? It's rolled back to the North Macedonian. Into the central area, and Halliday now back with Liam Gordon on the halfway line, steps forward into midfield he goes, right hand side, Casey. Gordon again looks to play it in behind, and Harmon was stretching for the header. O'Donnell gets it down for the shot at goal, didn't really catch the shot properly. Nightingale was able to stab it clear for the Dingwall side. Now Casey again with a cross ball in from the right hand side, too close to the keeper, comfortable for Ross Laidlaw. It stays 0-0 at Fir Park as we head to Airdrie against Raith Rovers and Chick.
Yeah, Rob, it's 42 minutes have come and gone here, and the game which started very well is actually now toddling gently towards the half-time interval. I have to say that the game is taking a bit of a siesta in this lovely sunshine at Airdrie this afternoon. We've just had one real chance for Rhys Armstrong. Ball floating into the right-hand side, and the Airdrie midfield player just struck it first time just over the crossbar. That's about as big a thrill as we've had in this first half. 2 or 3 bookings to pepper the afternoon. But at the moment it is Airdrie 0, Raith Rovers 0.
Amy's at the Tony Macaroni.
Just picked up in the last few minutes. It's a very good time for you to come to me just there right now. You can sort of hear the fans around me. They've been buoyed a little bit right on the edge of the box. Stephen Kelly had a free kick and forced a really decent save actually out of Dennis Mehmet. There was quite the curl on it and quite the pace, and just probably 30 seconds, 45 seconds before that, Dunfermline had a fantastic chance. A lot of their good works actually came down the left hand side, but it came down the right hand side there, and Aaron Comrie was right in the centre of the goal, and he actually just should have scored, to be honest with you, but he skied his effort high and wide, and I'm slightly concerned it may have hit my car. But it's still 0-0 here. We're a little bit behind. We've still got probably around 6 minutes left.
Stephen O'Donnell's cross at Fir Park, and Zach Robinson came flying in, unable to make contact. O'Donnell tries again, having a really good first half, the Motherwell captain, and Ross County just hanging on in there at the moment, looking to keep this game goalless. Ewan Wilson's follow-up effort was blocked as we head to Hamilton. Ayr United a goal up. Here's Leanne.
Yeah, it still remains the same, Rob. It's been an entertaining game, I would need to say. There's been chances at both ends. Hamilton could have drawn themselves level just a couple of minutes or so ago. A wonderful strike from Kevin O'Hara just outside the box with the left foot, but a great save down to his left hand side was Harry Stone to keep it out and turn it behind for a corner. But as I say, as it stands, it's Hamilton 0, Ayr United 1 as we edge close to half time.
corner kick here at Fir Park, left-hand side. Andy Halliday out swinging, lots of height on it. Liam Gordon leaping to get that bleached head on the end of it, but he was under enough pressure that he couldn't keep it down. It's ballooned over the top, and we stay goalless with 90 seconds left, Billy, of the first 45.
Yeah, it's Motherwell who have had the chances, glimpses from Ross County, not enough. They have to show a bit more in possession to create throughout the game. They've not done that so far, but really good chances for Motherwell. I mean that's a great chance. Good cross in from O'Donnell, and BA just missed the header. I think he's on it. I don't know about you, Rob, because he's made the run. Just get the head on it and he probably scores.
Here's Ross County looking for a sucker punch to end the first half. Hale's shot blocked, and it spins out to Victor Luturi. Now James Brown from the right-hand side. Cross blocked by Wilson. Conor Randall nods it to the edge of the area for Harmon. Cleared as far as Randall from 25 yards. And it was a good strike from the County captain, but it was right down the throat of Oxford.
Yeah, it was a good strike. You're thinking if that takes a deflection, it'll be past the goalkeeper, but it never. It was well struck. It was straight down his throat. He had to watch all the way, because if he'd spilled it, there was Ross County players in that area to tap into the net. So it was well held by Oxford as well.
Lennon Miller here flicks it towards Stephen O'Donnell, who's probably been up there as the best player of the first half. Good work defensively. And he's supplied some pretty good ammunition in attack as well. There will be no added time. That's 45 minutes. That's half-time at Fir Park. The home team with two golden opportunities and other half chances as well. They've been the better team, and County will be happy with a goalless scoreline halfway through. Zach Robinson racing in on goal after Nightingale's mistake. Should have scored, and his chipped effort went wide of target. And from Moses Abiye's effort close in, Ross Laidlaw made a very impressive reaction stop. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder. Oh!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. So goal is at half-time at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. It also finished goalless in our first commentary of the day, the first Premiership game of the season. Hearts 0, Rangers 0. We heard from both managers after that game. We heard from Philippe Clement. He was talking about a fair result, better second half, he said, but looking for his players to be braver. Stephen Naismith fairly happy with the performance today. They certainly started the game better and had their chances. Both goalkeepers did well today, but it ended goalless at Tynecastle. As I said, also goalless in our second commentary match of the afternoon, Motherwell against Ross County. We've got reporters at 4 of the Championship grounds this afternoon. Let's first of all get to Chick Young. He is watching Airdrie against Wraith Rovers. What's happening there, Chick?
Not a lot is the answer to that. Half time is Airdrie 0, Wraith Rovers 0. The first league game at the newly named Albert Bartlett Stadium, named after a local potato merchant. And I'm telling you, this isn't a great game when the chips are down, to be honest with you. It started well. We had an excellent first 20 minutes or so when both teams were playing sweet football, but it began to fade away. Both teams trying to get near the goalkeeper. I have to say, in reflection, Dabrowski and Murray Johnson in the Airdrie goal has not been seriously tested. Kevin Dabrowski, one or two of us with him to deal with. It was a Route 1 job right up the park from Johnston, and Ben Wilson got on the end of it, shaped for a shot, but there was a magnificent tackle come in, and that deflected the ball over the crossbar. In the wake of that, there was an effort from Rhys Armstrong, played in from the right hand side. Armstrong in the box, struck it first time magnificently, actually, very reminiscent of, I thought, of O'Hara's goal for St Mirren the other night in the European tie. He said this time he went over the crossbar, not into the net, and there's been a much huffing and puffing in the wake of all that. I think Airdrie have been the better team. They've certainly had more possession throughout the first 45 minutes, but it hasn't been a classic Kenny. And at half time we'll look on, and it still is Airdrie 0, Wraith Rovers 0.
Yes, a real dearth of goals this afternoon across the country. As I say, our first game finished goalless at Tynecastle. It's also goalless in the Premiership match at Fir Park. No goals, Airdrie Wraith Rovers. Can you deliver us one, Leanne Crichton? Accies against Ayr United?
Yeah, well, I'll treat it as a stroke of luck then, Kenny, the fact that I've seen one goal this far this afternoon. It is Hamilton Accies 0, Ayr United 1 at half-time, and to be honest, this game, it didn't take long to get going. Really enjoyable. Ayr United looked to try and capitalise early on, and Jay Henderson should have done exactly that. Brilliant play down the left-hand side. Jake Hastie found himself in behind the Accies backline. He squared it right on the money for the arriving Henderson at the back post, completely unmarked, and he fired his shot wide off target. A real let-off for the home side. They did respond well though. Regan Tumulty, he had a brilliant shot from close range. It was turned behind for a corner there. United defence certainly stood strong and blocked that one. Frankie Musonda then felt he should have given Ayr United the lead. A brilliant header at the back post, but turned over the crossbar from his former teammate, of course, Charlie Albinson, who's in the goal for Hamilton Accies this afternoon. And we did eventually see the deadlock broken in the 18th minute. George Stanger inside the 6-yard box, completely unmarked. Accies stood, array of them, 4 hands up in the air, claiming offside. Stanger took the touch, he stabbed it into the back of the net, and that gave the visitors the lead. And there was a flurry of chances after that, certainly neither side able to really capitalise. But I've got a good feeling about this one. I've got every hope that I'll be treated to more goals in the second half. But as it stands just now, it's Accies 0, Ayr United 1.
Leanne, I'd love to get your thoughts just overall in the Championship. I know you were at Falkirk last night. Many people tipping them to go very, very close this season. It's as open as we can remember, isn't it?
It is, and that's the beauty of it. That's, I think, what we'll look forward to this season, week by week. I mean, Jonathan Sutherland's going to ask us every week for a prediction on the games. It's going to be almost impossible to call, because every team on their day, I think, can have the beating of the other. So a good performance from Falkirk last night. I would need to say you can really see the consistency that they've got, the continuity in the group that's carried forward from that invincible season in League One last year. They've added just a couple of bodies to it, certainly, but a really strong squad they've got overall. Ayr United, again, looking pretty strong this afternoon, and they've got the lead here. Queen's Park, I think, will get stronger as they go on. Livingston, as Amy touched on earlier on, who knows what the season will have in store for them. Will they continue to free fall the way they did in the Premiership last year, or will we see Davy Martindale's side perhaps take control of the Championship? You just never really know. And Wraith Rovers and the likes, you know, outstanding last season, ran it really, really close with Dundee United, but we don't have that out-and-out runner, which I think is going to make it all the more exciting. We've been treated to a couple of brilliant seasons of late, and this one could potentially go and top the lot.
Yeah, it should be an absolute belter. Thanks to Leanne Crichton there watching Hamilton Accies against Ayr United. Let's cross to Firhill. Partick Thistle at home to Morton, and hear from Callum MacDonald.
Yeah, Kenny, we may not have a fancy name like the Tatty had, but what we do have here is a very decent game of football. The first 15 minutes or so was mostly Ayr United. Morton, surprisingly enough, J. Emmanuel Thomas with the biggest chance after Owen Moffat had latched on a short back pass and sent him clean through on the keeper. But Miles Roberts stood up well, managed to stop it with his feet and keep the game at 0-0. The second half of the first half, though, as you would say, has been almost all Partick Thistle. They've had 4 or 5 very decent chances. I think the best of those fell, I think, to Scott Robinson. It was originally a Wasiri Williams kind of weak shot, but it fell to him maybe about 15 yards out, right in front of the goal. He just tried to redirect it beyond the keeper, but it went wide. He looked longingly across to the assistant referee, but no flag was forthcoming. Like I say, not a bad game. Plenty of chances for both teams. I'd be surprised if this one finished 0-0 to follow the trend of the day.
Bold statement from Callum there. We'll find out later in the day. Let's now get to Livingston against Dunfermline. There for us is Amy Canavan.
I really don't have the same hope of goals, Kenny. There's not an awful lot to report here at all. You asked me just before kick-off what did I expect from these sides this season, and I said fairly similar, evenly matched, and probably both just aiming for safety this season. And after that first 45 minutes, my answer really hasn't changed. As I mentioned to Rob when he came to me, a couple of decent chances, 40 minutes or so, and firstly, like I said, neat work down the right from Dunfermline, who have been okay to decent down the left. Aaron Comrie in the centre of the goal. He really should have been burying it from close range, but his effort was skied high into the sky. And then almost immediately afterwards, up the other end, Stephen Kelly's free kick from the edge of the box looked destined to be heading for the top corner, but Dennis Mehmet punched away. Since then, Rhys Breen, who was a first half substitute, actually an injury to Kieran Nwenya you don't want to see. He curled a lovely effort from the edge of the box. Again, looked to be bending in, but Shamal George parried away to keep it goalless at half time. And to be honest, it's a very, very, very fair result for a very drab game.
Thank you to Amy. It's a bit of a theme actually across the country today. So our first commentary match finished Hearts 0, Rangers 0, half-time Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. In the Championship, Airdrie 0, Raith Rovers 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Ayr United 1, Livingston 0, Dunfermline 0, Partick Thistle 0, Morton 0. In League 1, Alloa 0, Queen of the South 0, Cove Rangers 0, Annan Athletic 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1, Dumbarton 0, and Montrose 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Stenhousemuir 0, Arbroath 0. In League 2 this afternoon, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Peterhead 0, Edinburgh City 0, Stirling Albion 0, Elgin City 2, East Fife 0, Forfar 0, Clyde 0, and Stranraer 2-0 up at home to Spartans. Goalless, as we've been saying, Billy Dodds there at Fir Park. Just talk to us about the shape of both sides, what's working, what's not, what the managers you think will be saying at half-time.
The shape of the both sides, it's an easy one. It's 3-5-2 and it's just win your individual battles, Kenny. It's been hard to create space. Motherwell, to their credit, a lot better than last week. They only had one striker up front in Zach Robinson, and they've thrown a B up with them, and it's got them further up the pitch this week. They played like a one striker last week with a box behind them, 4 midfielders, and it didn't really work. This week, 3-5-2, 2 strikers. They've got into some great positions. Should have scored. They've created the best chances, but they've missed them. Robinson missing one of B from a cut back, and then Robinson missing the header right at the end there. So there have been chances in the game. Ross County, for me, they have to show just a little bit of belief on the ball, just even if it's just basic passes. I'll get it, we're going to keep possession, we're going to move Motherwell about, we're going to move the ball about, but they've kind of just in certain areas just hooked it on into channels, not showing enough belief. I think Don Cowie will be saying to them, look, we'll take a point away from home, you've battled for me, but we have to show more composure. So Motherwell a lot better. Ross County, they'll be happy to be 0-0 at half time, and they'll be hoping to take something out of this game, but I think Stuart Kettlewell will be the happier manager so far.
Billy, I love hearing about the tactical side of the game from you guys. You're very, very good at this. So it sounds as if both sides, yeah, Billy, both sides cancelling each other out here. So if you're one of the two managers in there and you're looking to go on and win this game to change something, what would you be thinking about at the moment?
For Motherwell, Kenny, they've created those chances. It's just about a striker getting on the end of it and showing that ruthless streak, that ruthless. I don't think they have to change anything tactically today. I think it's two teams are well matched, battling it out. But Motherwell have created the better chances, so they'll be saying ruthless in attack. Make sure you keep your movement, make some front post runs, back post runs, and make sure you go on the end of it, because there are crosses coming in the box. If I was Don Cowie, I would certainly be saying, look lads, we have to show a bit more on the ball. We have to take it, we have to move it, we have to try and get into good areas, and when we do, get crosses in, because they have the height advantage. They have big guys, well, especially Jordan White up front, and they have people who can go on the end of things. So they've got to make sure that they show more belief, because I'm telling you, Ross County so far have battled away, but they just haven't shown that I'm going to take a touch in a tight area and bring a man to me and move the ball and create space for somebody else in my team or a teammate just to move into space. They've not shown that so far, Ross County, but they've done well to hang in for a 0-0 so far.
Would the realistic aspirations for both sides be quite similar, actually, Billy? Unlikely, you would think, to hit the top 6, both bottom 6 sides, but just well clear of that relegation and playoff spot. Would that be a fair target for both these sides?
I think it'd be a fair target, Kenny. Yep, I think you've nailed it there. But I think Motherwell will. I think Ross County will say, as long as we stay in the division and anything else is a bonus. Motherwell will be. I think they'll believe they're a club that can get top 6 if they show a bit more ambition. They are certainly, they've got the capability of getting in the top 6, so they'll be wanting a wee bit more this season than what they had last season. They had a fair finish to the season, ended up with a few points on the board, but they didn't. They're not going to be in that relegation battle. I think Motherwell will take stay in the division, but they'll hope to push for top 6, no doubt.
Billy, interested in your thoughts on this. We started today with a game from Tynecastle, Hearts 0, Rangers 0, and I was asking the guys about Todd Cantwell, and you've been a manager. What do you do as a manager if a player comes and tells you that he wants to leave? How do you manage that situation?
You ask him why, what's his thoughts, what's behind it, and if he's assured of it, you certainly don't stand in his way. I don't think Todd Cantwell has done enough to be dictating. I think he should be staying at Rangers if he wants, and obviously he doesn't, and making sure that I'm going to show people I'm a good player. I've said to you on many occasions, Kenny, there's been too many words off the pitch for me for Todd Cantwell. If he had the appearances and the displays and was backing it up, then no problem, but I honestly don't think he'll be a huge miss if he goes. There you go. So, but if I was a manager and you're asking me that, would I try and talk him round because I think he's a good technical player? Yes. But if he showed me the intent that, no, I don't want to stay, I think it's an easy one for a manager where he says, well, I'm not going to keep somebody at the club who doesn't want to be here. So we'll just move him on. If he was a top-notch player and he had the displays so far and he was world-class for Rangers, then you would maybe try a bit more to talk him round. But I think Philippe Clement he'll be going, well, we'll help you on your way, we'll get a solution and we'll move on.
It's an interesting one. We'll get the thoughts of a Rangers fan later in the programme, and the fans join us from 5:30. Also, we'll have a Motherwell fan on tonight. What are his thoughts on what he's seen so far today? What does he think his team will achieve this season? Also, the investment that was proposed and not back by Motherwell Football Club. So lots of talking points already, despite the lack of goals across the country. Let's hope that changes in the second half. Let's get back to Fir Park. Motherwell against Ross County with Billy Dodds and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Kenny. Two unchanged teams back out and ready to go for the second half. When are we going to get our first Scottish Premiership goal of the new campaign? Surely we can't go another 45 minutes without one on the back of Hearts 0, Rangers 0 earlier. And that's us underway at Fir Park. Lennon Miller takes the first touch of the second half, and immediately the home team launch a ball up into the middle of the Ross County defence. Will Nightingale has looked less than comfortable at times.
Uncute.
Deputising for Ricky Lamy, and he's just sliced one out of his own penalty box, out for a throw-in on the far side. Motherwell will see that indecision at times at the back for County, and they will look to cash in on it. Second half, have they got a player who can snap up a chance as the ball floated in from the right hand side? It just dips under the crossbar, and Ross Laidlaw has to punch that over the top in the end.
It was Dan Casey, Rob. Obviously it's not intentional, he's just trying to hook a ball in the box out in that wide right area, and he's hooked it where it's got dip and it's got a bit of pace on it, and Laidlaw's backpedaling and actually just palms it. I think he palms the ball onto a bit of the crossbar as well, but he gets it over the top, and that's the main thing.
Ended up mighty close. Too close for comfort for the County keeper. Corner kick, left hand side here at Fir Park. Andy Halliday swings it in. Liam Gordon attacking it around about the penalty spot. Good challenge against him though, and the ball has taken a nick off a County defender because it's going to be take two on the corner.
Nightingale did well on that occasion, stayed with Liam Gordon, watched him all the way, and it actually come off his head and went wide. It was never going in. Laturi was watching it wide and helped on its way, but Motherwell will get another corner, Rob.
A cluster of players around Ross Laidlaw, and John Beaton just having a little look there at what was going on. Halliday tries again from the corner kick, beyond everyone this time. And James Brown, well, firstly looked to tidy the situation up, and then he's played a really good pass down the line for Ronan Hale, clipped into the middle, through goes Victor Laturi, and off his line comes Aston Oxford to get that away. Almost a chance for County on the counter at the start of the second half.
Well, Brown and Hale were brilliant. I mean, Brown does well, breaks up, beats his man, lays it wide. Hale comes in and just in-swings a brilliant crossfield pass. It puts Laturi, he thinks he's going through 1-on-1, and the goalkeeper Oxford comes from nowhere to clear the danger. It would have been a brilliant counter-attack goal from Ross County, that would.
James Brown has been prominent for Ross County here today, never more so than when it's a counter-attack. He's looked useful, he's reacted quickly in those sort of situations, and credit to the giant Aston Oxborough in goal for Motherwell, who got off his line very quickly there to deal with the danger. Ewan Wilson, left-hand side for Motherwell, just underneath us in the main stand, plays the ball back to Blaney, and now it's with Casey on the other side. His cross ball had Laidlaw backpedaling earlier on. Mistake at the back again by County, and this is an opportunity on the byline for Halliday, looking to pick somebody out, and Ross County scramble it away. It was Ryan Leake in the end, but there's real fury at the back from Ross County, who went to sleep for a moment.
Yeah, they don't look rock solid. I'm sure you would agree with me, Robin. And when it's just a cross-field ball that's missed by everyone, it lets Halliday in. He takes his time, shows his composure. He's not got enough runners, and that's what I said to Kenny at half-time about just somebody bust a gut to get on the end of it, because you'll get a flick or a touch on it, it'll end up in the net, but nobody moving, not enough runners in the box, and Halliday had to dwell on it, and eventually his cross was blocked.
Throw-in taken by Wilson close to the corner flag. Lennon Miller scrapping on the byline, goes down in the end. The ball goes behind. It was Akil Wright who made the challenge. It's going to be a corner kick rather than the free kick Miller was looking for there. Just going back to that opportunity for Motherwell, it was one of those situations where Andy Halliday has so much time, he can put his foot on the ball on the byline, have a look for a claret and amber shirt in the middle, and there was just nobody making themselves available.
You need somebody darting, even if it's just a 1-2 yard movement, whether you pull out towards the penalty spot, whether you bust across the front or just move a yard to the back, but they were all static.
Another Motherwell corner kick. They're looking for a breakthrough here, the home team. Miller fires it in long beyond the back post, looking for the head of Liam Gordon. Nightingale got there. Meantime, right in the middle of the penalty box, a clash of heads. Ryan Leake is down for Ross County. Motherwell with a man down as well.
And I think it's Blaney, Rob. I think he was picking them up.
Both sets of physios are scurrying on to give both players some attention here.
There's all sorts going on. I mean, you see at the back, I think it was Casey and Nightingale at it again, and then two hit the deck, as you say, and they stayed down. So plenty going on in the box when the delivery from the corner comes in.
So this could be a delay, I would imagine, of a couple of minutes. No goals in the Premiership today, 3 in the Championship last night when Falkirk beat Queen's Park by 2-1, live on the BBC Scotland channel. And just the one Championship goal so far this afternoon, with George Stanger scoring for Ayr United at Hamilton. The other 3 Championship games are goalless, and both players still getting attention inside the penalty box here. I think both are sitting up. I think both going to be okay, but it is going to delay us a bit.
That's good to see. You see players going down these days, the first thing you do is get the staff on, the medical staff who can attend to them, and then make sure they're okay, and then they have to pass all the tests to enable them to stay on the pitch, and both look as if they've done that.
Yeah, both players up and about, both heading off before they head back on. Shane Blaney and Ryan Leake, and we're about to resume with a throw-in for Motherwell wide right. And feeling the home team as if they should be in front. Plenty of opportunities when you look back on a handful of chances first half, that opportunity early second half, and Ross County just continue to hang on to this 0-0, which is a result for them at the moment. The ball going behind from that throw-in, which was disappointing for Motherwell. Goal kick, Ross County, 52 minutes on the clock, and they'd probably sign for a point, Don Cowie and co, right now.
I think so, away from home. Look, they would take all 3, no doubt, and try and nick 3 points down here. What a result that would be, but they would take a point and a battling performance and get themselves back up the road. Motherwell, they'll be disappointed if it remains 0-0. They have had the best chances, and they're at home, so they would be looking to go off to a good start.
Brown against Wilson. James Brown does well. Ewan Wilson, the youngster, recovers. Rolls it down the line. Conor Randall is first there. Didn't quite keep it in for James Brown. It's gone out for a throw-in. Ewan Wilson is one who continues to catch the eye for me. Just 19. Looks really promising, Billy.
Yeah, he's an athlete as well. You called it in the first half where he's constantly up and down that line. He has to be fit. He should be fit at that age. But it's asking a lot of a young lad, 19, to continually play that wing-back role, get up and down the pitch and try and do your defensive shift, but be creative at top of that.
Motherwell last weekend started with 2 graduates on the pitch and 2 came off the bench as well. So the academy is working well as Liam Gordon takes the ball out and lofts one down the right side. Really good play from James Brown, although his header in the end back to Laidlaw as the goalkeeper scrambling, and it's gone behind for a corner kick. I thought when he made contact, the header back to his goalkeeper was a good one, but it just seemed to spin away from Laidlaw. And Motherwell have had a handful of corners now right at the start of the second half. Here comes another one.
He's a wee bit unlucky, James Brown, isn't he? I'm like you,
yeah,
trying to knock it back, and I'm asking him for composure. He tried to show it there, but gives away the corner.
It's Andy Halliday having a look from the corner flag as he now plays the ball in at the near post, spinning off Laturi, back post. Motherwell trying to scramble the ball home, and it was Stephen O'Donnell at the back post after the near post flick who tried to put the ball in the back of the net without success, and the frustration continues for the home team.
Well, the delivery is front post, it's flicked up there, it's lobbing towards the back area, and you think that's going to get in the net. A Ross County player sticks out a boot, it smacks off the post, and somehow they get it away because there was another attempt that drifted wide. I think a free kick was given anyway, but it was nearly the breakthrough from Motherwell, and all sorts of comical things going on there in the box.
Yeah, I think it came off Akil Wright, didn't it, the county defender at the near post, and it set up an opportunity that for Motherwell, who go close again but not close enough. Harmon with a diagonal, lovely ball across to James Brown, who cushions it infield. Dan Casey nicking in from the right side to head that away, sensing the danger. And it may be a game this that has sucker punch written all over it, because Motherwell have had so many chances. They've had most of the pressure in terms of attacking areas, but they haven't been able to snap up a chance so far. And Ross County might just look to steal something as this game remains goalless. Good work from Lennon Miller, composed. The ball fired in from the right side. Akil Wright doing some good defending against both Moses Abiy and Zach Robinson. Blaney keeps the ball in left side, or tried to at least. He went flying down the touchline to try and keep that alive for Motherwell. And the ball, I think, just edged over the touchline, and it will be a Ross County throw-in. 10 minutes into the second half, 0-0 at Fir Park.
Plenty coming in the box from Motherwell. Every opportunity you see O'Donnell there. I mean, he's just maybe 10-15 yards inside the Ross County half, and he just delivers it. And they nearly get the break, but Ross County do enough to get it away. They're digging in Ross County again. Motherwell are still pushing to try and get this open up.
Hale's ball cross-field, missed by O'Donnell. Harmon gets there first. Now looks to get himself turned, George Harmon. Support from Conor Randall. Back it goes to Leake. They've lost that momentum that they had for a moment down the left-hand side. County, Akil Wright, centre circle, taking chances. Possession lost, but in the end there's a foul on Laturi and a free kick for Ross County, who have gambled on the ball at times, and Nightingale got lucky first half when Zach Robertson raced away in on goal. Should have snapped up the chance, but this game's still goalless. Forward for Jordan White, his layoff. Ronan Hale looked as if he was being held by Blaney, who lunges in the end. Well, he could have been penalised first time, I think. He is penalised second time, and this is a free kick just about 25 yards out, right of centre for the Dingwall team.
Yeah, you said that a few moments ago. It could be the old sucker punch when Motherwell have the best chances, not taking them. We've heard all that before. When you don't take your chances, come back to bite you. It's kind of leaning that way, and it's good play from County. I've asked them to show a bit more composure in the right areas. Obviously we've talked about Nightingale, but it was good play up to Jordan White, laid off across the face run from Hale, and you thought he's going to pull the trigger, takes an extra touch, and Blaney brings him down. So good opportunity from 25 yards out.
I think the former Republic of Ireland under-21 international might just fancy this as well. George Harmon is over it too. Harmon leaves it. It's run on Hale. It's a great effort, and it's a flying save from Aston Oxford. Canty's number 9 has his head in his hands. He thought that was in.
Yeah, Harmon runs over it, and you think, oh, right, he's going to hit it, and he dummies it, and then Hale comes up and he gets it curling, and Oxford is equal to it. The more I see of him, the more I'm impressed by Oxford in this Motherwell team. The goalkeeper's looked assured, hasn't he?
He sure has. Lennon Miller with a ball down the line, which is fended away by James Brown. Let's go to Amy at Livingston.
Yes, Rob, finally there has been a goal, a lengthy half-time, but seems it was worth the wait. We've just had a goal for Livingston. They have their first goal since returning to the Scottish Championship, and it comes via Scott Pittman. It speaks volumes actually just before it eventually finished into the net that a guy in front of me screamed, "Stop trying to walk it in." That's what it seemed like. It was just constant attack from Livingston. Andrew Shinney, I think, had about 3 or 4 shots on goal in that one flurry, but eventually it fell to Scott Pittman, showed them all how it's done, and thrashed it into the back of the net. Livingston 1, Dunfermline 0.
What a player he's been for Livingston for a long time, Scott Pittman, and still coming up with valuable moments for them. His opening goal in that game's danger for Ayr United at Hamilton. Corner kick here at Fir Park, right-hand side this time. Andy Halliday sends in an in-swinger for the home team. Jordan White back doing the defending. Motherwell look to create again. Lennon Miller's cross ball. It's a brilliant ball in, and it's answered by a really important header from the County captain, Conor Randall, at the far post, getting that away. County had counter-attacking possibilities, but a sloppy pass hands the ball back to the home team.
It was brilliant from Lennon Miller, wasn't it? Digs out a tremendous left foot cross and into some area, and you're right to call it, because Conor Randall gets a head on it, or Casey was going to head it. I think it was Casey in that back area going to head it into the net.
Almost an hour gone. Blaney down the line for Motherwell. It comes off the bounces off the back of Wilson, but he does well to get control of it. And now it's Zach Robinson, left-hand side, finding a little half yard, getting in beyond Greaves, and then firing a disappointing ball straight into the gloves of Ross Laidlaw. He surely had to be picking out somebody in the middle.
I hate to say it, I'm with you again, because he does well. Zach Robinson down this left, just drags it, and the only cross you've got really is to hang up to the back post, but he drives it and it's straight to Laidlaw. Disappointing.
I mean, it had bags of pace on it, but it was pretty much bread and butter for the goalkeeper, and Moses B.A. was very interested in that being stood up at the back post instead. Another moment goes for Motherwell. There have been so many, start to lose count of chances and half chances for the home team. They've played a whole lot better than they did last weekend, but the problem is chances which have gone awry for the home team. Ross County are going to make a change here. Let's head to Airdrie against Wraith Rovers and get the latest from Chick.
Yeah, Rob, it's still Airdrie 0, excuse me, Wraith Rovers 0. It's certainly livened up the second half. We've had a header against the crossbar from Ben Wilson. That was for Airdrie. And just a moment ago, to close my eyes, was a crunching tackle by Callum Fordyce, of course, who was formerly the assistant manager here at Airdrie, and his former player Adam Frizzell. They came together with incredible force, so much so that Frizzell's boot spun into the air about 20 feet into the air, came away and landed about 20 feet away. That's the ferocity of that challenge, but the referee said it was fair. Both players get treatment back in the park, both of them. A couple of changes happening for Airdrie, so it's at least a bit more entertaining. But I realise now, watching tackles like that, I'm glad I never made it in this game.
Well, I can confirm you certainly didn't, Chick. We'll keep tabs on all the championship action as we focus mainly on this one and only 3 o'clock kickoff in the Premiership, where remains goalless between Motherwell and Ross County. And I'll get Billy's thoughts in a minute on the change that Don Cowie's just made. I think it's an interesting one because Aidan Denham, on loan from Hearts, is on the pitch, and off has gone Jack Greaves, the 19-year-old on loan from Watford. And to me, that's a defensively thinking midfielder into replacing a much more attack-minded player. And I just wonder whether Don Cowie is looking at this game and thinking, I just want a bit more solidity in the midfield. I want to get something out of this game.
Absolutely. I mean, rock solid in there with Laturi, Randall, now Denham. But just when he got the ball there, he showed an intent to get forward. But you can see it's a more solid-looking midfield. Just looking as that cross comes in, just to make it more secure. Just try to see out the game, make sure they get a point, try to nick 3 still, but 27 minutes to go. They're looking to make it more solid in that central area of midfield. 63
minutes on the clock at the end of the ground. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0 on BBC Radio Scotland on the back of Hearts 0, Rangers 0, which was a final outcome at Tynecastle. At the back for County, Nightingale fires one forward, Blaney clears. Awkward but well dealt with by Robinson. He guides it back to Halliday. Further back it goes to O'Donnell. His clearance was came off Jordan White, and now driving with the ball is Randall, and nobody really engaging with him at the moment. Right down the left side of the box, and wins the corner kick. It took a long time for Motherwell to come alive defensively there as the Ross County skipper drove forward.
Yeah, when Randall picks up, I'm saying, right, okay, somebody better get to him. Drakowski just deepened into the box diagonally, and I'm thinking, okay, but it was the man that made the mistake, dwelt on the ball, O'Donnell, who eventually got there to block it for this corner.
In the 65th minute at Fir Park, George Harman with the outswinging corner kick from the left-hand side. I think that came off the head of Liam Gordon and went angled back towards his own goal, and it was almost coughed up an opportunity for County. But it must have taken a touch off a County player on its way, because it's ended up as a goal kick.
Gordon definitely won it and knocked it towards his own goal, and it must have been a County player trying to go on the end of it. White was in there, Hale was in there, but they just couldn't get a touch. It poked it over the line, but goes out for the by kick. No damage done.
Akil Wright's header away. Victor Laturi gets hold of it, then loses it, then gets it back again, and James Brown plays the ball out off Andy Halliday. If that substitution for County was aimed at just solidifying things for them and trying to make sure they get something out of the game, I find the timing a little bit surprising, because maybe in the last 5-10 minutes that you see more opportunities for Ross County potentially to get all 3 points in this game. There goes Zach Robinson with a lovely bit of skill. Lennon Miller rolls it down the left side of the box for Moses Ebiye to turn it back. Ewan Wilson's shot blocked, and it breaks back to Robinson, and his shot deflected wide.
I thought it was off, and eventually it goes up, but it's one of those, you just let it play out, and they have opportunities. I thought he just went a tad early, but they create the opportunity, and then when it comes back and they hit the shot, they drag it wide with a deflection anyway. Then the flag goes up.
Yeah, just as I was saying that Ross County maybe have got an opportunity to win this game. They're back on the defensive again. Well, here is the moment that I was dreading. Apostolos Stamatolopoulos is on the touchline, and he's about to make his Motherwell debut, and he will replace Zach Robinson right up top for the home team. I'm going to have to find some sort of abbreviation, because that cannot continue, surely.
I'm sure somebody told me last week within the club. I'm not trying it. Well done, Rob. It's Stama they're going to call him, just to make it easier. So I think we should go for that. Or you being the commentator should just keep going for the full pronunciation.
I'm not so sure. Anyway, he's on the pitch. Going to be interesting to see what he does, the Australian international. Akil Wright under pressure immediately from the substitute, doing good work, winning the ball from Moses Ebiye, and the Claret and Amber shirts are sweeping forward now. Dan Casey for Lennon Miller. Wide is O'Donnell. Casey's cross ball in. headed away by Wright. County being stretched again defensively. Ewan Wilson's cross ball is a beauty to the back post, headed away by Ryan Leake. Back in from Stephen O'Donnell, but it just loops into the gloves of Ross Laidlaw.
You can't say today that the delivery hasn't been there for Motherwell, because they've put in some great crosses. You saw O'Donnell in the first half when Robinson missed the header. Ewan Wilson in a couple of occasions been great crosses, and they're continued. You saw Lennon Miller dig out a left footer, put it in the right area, just nobody on the end of it. Now that could be down to Ross County just putting bodies in line, good defending, but I'd like to see that movement we were talking about at half time, just from the forward thinking players, just to get that wee half yard you need just to flick things home.
I think it's quality of crosses, it's also quantity of crosses, because there's been plenty coming in from the wide areas, and maybe Motherwell have got another opportunity here, but in the end the ball is smuggled out of play by Luturi for a throw-in. Let's see if we can get the latest from Firhill. Partick Thistle against Morton. Calmac.
Half's following much the same pattern as the first one. The best chances in the early part of this half were about 20 minutes into the second half. Now I've fallen to Morton. Morgan Boys had a good effort, just tried to guide it. He guided it about a yard wide from the post, and again that was in the second phase from a corner. And then Owen Moffat and Aaron Lyle. I've been quite impressed actually with Morton and their wee kind of triangles of passes. Owen Moffat played a lovely pass through to Aaron Lyle. His shot was deflected, but it was just pushed over the bar by Miles Roberts. But again, it's been mostly Morton in this early part of the second half, just as it was in the first.
Let's complete the championship picture by heading to New Douglas Park in Leanne.
It remains as is, with the visitors in front here. United taking that first half advantage. Second half's been pretty good in terms of the footballing side of things. Couple of chances. Frankie Masondo, he's been at the thick of things for there. United should have doubled the advantage actually just a couple of minutes into the second half. You saw his shot coming back off the post after a deep delivery to the back post. He then picked up a yellow card for a really poor challenge actually over in the far side. Other than that, there's been nothing much else to report.
I've heard you more excited, to be fair, Leanne. So Ayr United ahead, Livingston ahead, and Falkirk, of course, won last night. Any further goal action, you'll get it right away right here on BBC Radio Scotland. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0, and we're almost at 70 minutes. And the ball is with Akio Wright, ex of Wrexham and York and Stockport, an experienced player at the back for County. Same goes for Nightingale on loan from AFC Wimbledon. Motherwell work it down the left. Lovely skills from Wilson. Lovely bit of football from Lennon Miller as well. And he's taken out cynically by Will Nightingale, and he expected that yellow card to be flashed in his face, and it was.
It's nice, isn't it, from Miller? Just this tight area down the left, and he knows the centre half's coming probably to clatter him, and he just opens up the body, drags the ball, and then pokes it through Nightingale's legs, gets beyond him, and Nightingale just drags him to the ground. Brilliant play from the youngster.
A top level product from the Motherwell Academy, and he will move on eventually to bigger and better things, but he's looking to get the game won here against County. Miller leaves it, and Halliday swings in the free kick, and that was an important header from Aidan Denham at the near post, glancing that away. Dravkovsky looting it, get it back in the box, then it's Miller who lofts it forward. Nightingale's header away, back on the half volley from Wilson. A challenge to get this away for County, dallying on the ball in the box, but eventually they do stay calm and play it out. And there's a lovely ball down the line for Ronan Hale, and he couldn't quite get control of that, and Denham was clear on the right hand side, and Hale managed to link up with the substitute.
All started for James Brown again. He's the one that's shown on a few occasions are going to show that composure on the ball. Brilliant up the line pass outside of the boot, sets Hale off. If he can get the head up and get to the ball first, he sets the sub Denham through, but he just couldn't get there.
Alex Samuel coming off the bench for Ross County. It's the end of the match for Ronan Hale, who's had his moments but unable to add to the 3 County goals he scored already since arriving from Cliftonville. And Alex Samuel, well, he's all action, isn't he? He will get in about, he will look to make things happen. Lennon Miller's going to be coming off for Motherwell. He was hobbling a little after that foul, and it's going to be Ross Callaghan coming on for the home team, formerly Ross County player, of course, and Stuart Kettlewell will be happy to have him back after injury, and he will play in the last 20 minutes. 0-0 it remains at Fir Park. Harmon, Samuel getting himself involved immediately. Laturi plays it back to Leak, and across the pitch it goes to Akil Wright. Not the greatest of passes for James Brown, but he did well to keep it in. Wright continues his movement down the flank and wins a throw-in for Ross County close to the corner flag.
Yeah, we've not talked too much about County in a attacking sense, but for me, James Brown has been our best performer today. Looks solid, got up down the pitch and made some really telling passes at times and created the few opportunities I've had. Maybe the two number twos have been as good as it's got today, because Stephen O'Donnell has done a lot of good work for Motherwell. Wilson with a first-time ball down the flank for the substitute, and the little chip ball inside bounces through to Ross Laidlaw. No harm done. It was Stamatolopoulos, he said quickly, who looked to make something happen off the bench, looking to have an instant impression, and the home fans interested to see what he can do. Out from Laidlaw to Nightingale, and Akil Wright wearing number 4, right side of the back three, wanted it back from Nightingale, instead it went other side to Ryan Leak. Now George Harmon, long ball from Leak. Liam Gordon gets his head to it, Blaney helps him out. Back in the midfield with Conor Randall, square to Laturi, wide right for James Brown. Brown against Wilson, feeds it back towards Laturi. Arms up in the box, looking to get in the end of this, and the glancing header from Jordan White goes over the top of the crossbar. When that was in the air, you thought this is 1-0 Ross County. How many chances like that has Jordan White taken? But he's glanced that over the top. He just got too much of a flick on it, and I'll tell you, any time Ross County have shown that belief to move the ball about, they've done pretty well and created a chance from within it. And again, they have 4 or 5 passes. They eventually roll it into Laturi in the central area of the pitch, and he plays a brilliant outswinging cross, and he's got himself free, White, and he just needs a finer flick, doesn't it? Yeah. And he get too much on it, and it just drifts maybe a few inches over the crossbar with the goalkeeper beaten.
Yeah. Chick at Airdrie has a goal.
We have, the deadlock has been broken. It's the home team, Airdrie, who have taken the lead. They've been trying hard in the last few minutes. It's a ball, I think, just forced over the line eventually by Dylan MacDonald, who got himself into the 6-yard box at the far post, got a touch, and there was a real crowd of players around there, and he got the final touch just to knock it over the line. It is a goal for Airdrie at a dramatic time of this game. Disappointment for Raith Rovers. What a moment this could be for young MacDonald. It is Airdrie 1, Raith Rovers 0.
And a goal at Hamilton, Leanne.
It is, and it's a cracker, Rob. It's for the visitors again. They've doubled their lead. It was a brilliant run from Marco Roos through the middle of the pitch. Anton Dowd's made a lovely run just off the back of the Accies defence. He received the ball just with the left foot, shaped it beyond Charlie Albinson in the Accies goal just to double their lead. And I must add, Scott Martin was sent off for Accies just a couple of minutes before that as well for a second yellow of the afternoon. So Accies really up against it. It's Hamilton Accies 0, Ayr United 2 now.
It's looking like a winning beginning to the championship season for Ayr United. 2-0 up now. Airdrie ahead, Livingston ahead as we enter the final 15 minutes, I guess, in most of those games. And this one at Fir Park in the Premiership still to be sorted out. 76.5 minutes. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. In comes the ball from Stephen O'Donnell, right-hand side. Ross County defend it pretty well. They've got lucky at times, the Dingwall team. They have been resilient as well. Akil Wright stabs the ball away. Collected by George Harmon. Harmon with only one thought, and that's a big diagonal up towards Jordan White, who holds off Blaney and gets the ball down, and now looks for a bit of support. Arriving James Brown. Alex Samuel in the middle, but it's rolled through for White instead. Lovely touch with his right foot to get himself inside Liam Gordon, and just as he was about to pull the trigger, pouncing at his feet was the impressive, you would have to say today, Aston Oxborough.
Yeah, it just comes from Brown again with that pass. He's the one that's hit the passes that have broken Motherwell's back line, and gets the head up, sees Brown run, Blaney switches off, he just ball watches, and White's in behind him. He takes a lovely touch, but that touch takes it through to the goalkeeper when it could have taken him through 1-on-1.
Looks like they've got a good goalkeeper, doesn't it?
Aye, I like him, just the way what I saw him having to do last week, which wasn't too much, but anything basic, handling was good, a couple of good saves as well, but this week he's been really good, and he's had to make a few saves on top of that.
6'5" as well, and he dominates his penalty box, and his handling is pretty good throughout. Throw in for Ewan Wilson, flings it down the line, across comes Nightingale, and that ball ends up pretty close to us as he boomed it into the main stand. Out for another Motherwell throw in down the line. Wilson again, Akil Wright is there this time, not too bothered about doing anything too fancy, just get rid of it, keeping the defending pretty plain and simple at the moment as they hang on to this goalless draw, hoping they can get at least something out of the game. Don Cowie's team, poor header away from right though. Wilson had it and he couldn't make the right decision. Conor Randall clearing for Ross County. Motherwell win it back. Inside it goes from Halliday. Down goes Moses Ebiye, and that will be a free kick for Motherwell, and it's 25 yards out, and this could be a shooting chance, a chance for Motherwell to try to get a breakthrough in the game.
It's a nice wee turn, wasn't it? Just Andy Halliday played it in the pitch, 25 yards for goal, central area, and then Ebiye just lets it through his body, a little turn, and Akil Wright just downs him. So good chance for Motherwell to get something on target.
It's left of centre. Shane Blaney is over it at the moment, and Andy Halliday there to goal at Livingston. Amy.
Yeah, he certainly is. Kenny, oh my goodness, Rob, apologies, I was about to call you Kenny there. What's that all about? I'm very, very sorry. I'm just blown away by the fantastic unselfish play of Lewis Smith down the far side for Livingston. Youngster coming on, he was spent most of his career actually at Hamilton Accies, but he's a local lad here, and his family are all here today. They're actually sitting around me, and they should actually be celebrating a goal for him because it's tremendous work from him. But he very unselfishly, as I say, lays it in and allows for Stephen Kelly to fire in a second for Livingston. Tremendous play, and it has been coming. It really has been coming in the second half. Livy have just upped the ante a little bit, just as Dunfermline whiff in a corner, but that is steered away. It is Livingston 2, Dunfermline 0, Rob.
Thanks, Amy. I wondered if I might have to step in there because Motherwell had a free kick 25 yards out, but no requirement to step in.
Kenny McIntyre stepped in.
Yeah, exactly. I know what a tribute that is.
You've been called worse.
Well, I have. Well, that's true. Andy Halliday's effort, chipped effort from the free kick, comfortably over the crossbar.
Yeah, story of the game, you're thinking it wasn't really his side. It's set up for a right footer, but Halliday goes for it, but he's never beaten goalkeeper Laidlaw from there, and they put it too central as well, and it's always going over the crossbar.
I wonder if a goal's going to be an endangered species in the Premiership this season. We're still waiting for number one, as Moses Ebiye looked as if he controlled the ball with his arm, gets away with it, but Ross County get the ball clear in any case, and as the ball is flung in the general direction of James Brown, he's not in too much of a hurry to get on with business because we're well inside the last 10 minutes now. Ross County are closing in on a precious point to start the league campaign, and you can hear the frustration growing among the Motherwell fans because it's looking less and less likely that they're going to be able to claim all three here.
Yeah, Ross County have stayed strong, haven't they? Anything that Motherwell put in the box, they've got their defensive line and their bodies in the way. Motherwell haven't done enough offensively to go on the end of things, and it's a home game for Motherwell. Start the season, the crowd want to win it. They've been better today though, we have to say that, yeah. But they'll be disappointed so far that they haven't got the breakthrough.
George Harmon gets the ball back from the throw-in as Ross County sense there might be a late opportunity. Conor Randall buzzing down that touchline left hand side, unable to deliver. And Motherwell get the ball away. Now Harmon tries again. Cross blocked. Out for a throw-in. Could there be a late twist in the tail here for the Dingwall team? Laturi plays it back to Harmon. Lifting the cross in, back post, headed away by Ewan Wilson. Brown goes in with a challenge. Wilson wins it. Motherwell look to get forward. Moses Ebie runs the ball infield. No joy for the home team, and as the ball brought back, Jordan White is penalised, and he's going to be yellow carded as well for a late challenge on Blaney.
He just caught him late. There was a couple of crunching challenges going in there. Laturi had to get one, and he won it, and it eventually broke between Blaney and White just got there late, caught him, and referee Beaters had a good day, you have to say. Just stopped it, broke it up, and gave White the yellow card.
83 minutes on the clock. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. You're with BBC Radio Scotland, and we're edging towards our second goalless draw of the day in the Premiership. Tomorrow, of course, Dundee Derby, St Mirren Hibs, Celtic against Kilmarnock, and of course St Johnstone against Aberdeen is Monday night. Forward it goes from Oxborough, the Motherwell keeper, aiming for the head of Stephen O'Donnell. Headed away by Ryan Leake, out for a Motherwell throw-in, right-hand side, just about in line with the edge of the penalty box. Back it goes to O'Donnell. There's room here for the cross, fired in low on the half volley. Cleared only as far as Ewan Wilson. What a hit! And what a save from Ross Laidlaw. That could salvage a point for the Dingwall team. It was struck with real power from the youngster.
Unbelievable in both counts. It's a brilliant strike, and we'll talk about it. How he gets that round the post, Laidlaw, is beyond me. What a save that is. Corner kick
for Motherwell now. On the left-hand side, Andy Halliday floats it back post, down from Liam Gordon. Cleared by Will Nightingale. A whistle goes for an infringement. Ross County have got a free kick as we reflect on a stunning save by Ross Laidlaw, stretching out a right glove to get in the way of a rasping left footer from Ewan Wilson, which had goal written all over it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the net to bulge, Rob, and I'm like you. I mean, he gets a hand on it, but it's a strong hand. We've seen with the power of his shots, sometimes the goalkeeper, just their hands or their arm get bent back and the ball still goes in the net, but he just gets it round the post somehow. It's swerving away from him. It's well struck by Wilson. It looks as if it's flying in the top corner, and Laidlaw makes just a wonderful save.
Not for the first time, Shane Blaney is getting a little bit of attention. It was a head knock earlier on. It's another problem he has at the moment, getting treatment. The rest of the players getting some fluid down them on a sunny day at Fir Park, and we're inside the last 5 minutes, and it is heading towards a share of the points here.
Yeah, my eagle-eyed engineer Dave is telling us that it was the Jordan White challenge. It's, I don't know if he's done some damage to his knee, Blaney, but that's why he's having to go off, Rob.
So just about 4 minutes to go of regulation time. Motherwell are going to make another change. It will be to replace Blaney. It will be Paul McGinn, the club captain, who comes on. And he will play on the right side of the back three, with Casey moving across to the left. But they'll be looking forward at the moment, hoping they can snatch a winning goal late on. Moses Ebie is off for Motherwell, and Dylan Wells, who came off the bench last weekend, is getting another little cameo appearance here for the home team, the 18-year-old. Stuart Kettlewell making a couple of late switches, hoping that that might just find the spark to get them a winning goal. Noah Chilvers off the bench for Ross County. They're making a couple of late alterations, probably as much to disrupt as anything else. James Brown, who's had a really good afternoon for County, he comes off, and Mickey Efete will slot in that position, right wing back for Ross County for the last few minutes. Okay, Doddsy, everything okay admin-wise?
Yeah, just take a breath and we'll see if we get a grandstand finish.
Yeah. Kept in by Ifete down the right-hand side as Ross County push forward. Noah Chilver is wearing number 10. Dingwall team will be, their fans will be interested to see what they can get from him, a new arrival in Easter Ross. Throw in for Motherwell, deep inside their own half, looking to get up the pitch, looking to create something, looking for that key moment, and turning 1 point into 3. Throw in on halfway, 19-year-old Ewan Wilson to take it. Well, he's going to leave it instead to Dan Casey. Stuart Kettlewell, just a couple of yards away from Dan Casey, will be a whole lot happier with what he's got from his team here today. What they've lacked is just that finishing touch, that clinical moment in front of goal, because they will look back on this and feel they've had plenty of opportunities to have won it.
You can't say they've not created chances or opportunities. It's just I think they'll be on the training ground in the next week, just working on constant finishing, just hitting the back of the net, getting on the end of crosses, just basic finishing, just to try and get the habit of feeling the ball hitting the net and getting the strikers goals, even though it's in training, because it breeds confidence.
I knew it when I said that 2 of the games last season had produced 5 goals from Motherwell against Ross County, and there was a 3-3 draw between these two as well. But currently between them they can't find even one, but maybe Ross County will find a moment late on. Ifete down the right hand side feeds it inside to Chilvers, good feet from him, and works it out wide for Akil Wright, and he allowed the ball to slip under his boot and out of play for a Motherwell throw-in when we're almost at 90 minutes. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0.
It's a strange feeling when you get the 2 games in the open day. All been used to the full Premier card and Championship card, and it's a big day, the open day, just taken away from it a little bit with the 2 games. And then when you get Hearts drawing with Rangers, you just get the feeling there's not going to be many goals, and this game's gone the way we thought, evenly matched, 2 similar shapes, and nobody can forge a breakthrough.
90 minutes nearly up, plus 5 to go. You do worry a bit for the TV highlights show this weekend if it's going to be 2 goalless draws to get us started. 3 games tomorrow, 1 Monday night, of course. And Motherwell chasing a late winner at Fir Park. O'Donnell feeds the ball in from the right-hand side, and the ball goes behind off corner Randall, and there will be a corner kick as we edge into stoppage time. Plenty of time for a winning goal, and Motherwell will throw plenty at this from the set play. Forward comes Liam Gordon, Dan Casey. Paul McGinn is up there as well, back after injury, the Motherwell skipper.
It's Ross County skipper who's feeling the pain just now. Conor Randall getting a stretched legs, bit of cramp. Still got a few minutes to go. You better get yourself back into your defensive position with this Motherwell corner coming in.
Yeah, I think he's going to need replaced by, he can hardly move. Corner kick, right hand side, Andy Halliday in swinging and straight into the gloves of Ross Laidlaw. Well, it wasn't the greatest delivery you've ever seen, but he's probably entitled to be thinking that somebody's got to be attacking that and putting some pressure on the goalkeeper.
Well, a bit, you're right, the second bit especially. I mean, it's not a bad area, and the goalkeeper's come and he's collected it easily. It's my pet hate where they should have a man on the goalkeeper and make it awkward for him, where he can't come if the delivery's not perfect, and they don't put anybody in the goalkeeper. Laidlaw just comes all the way and puts his cap on it practically.
Have Ross County used all their subs, Billy?
Yes, I think
so Conor Randall's just going to have to get on with it. He flopped to the ground inside the 6-yard box there. And well, you don't want to be cynical in these moments, but maybe he's edging his team a little bit closer to a Premiership point as the ball is boomed down the right-hand side for Ifete, the substitute, who's looked pretty sharp since coming on. Little jink inside and out, and he wins the corner kick off Ewan Wilson, and Ross County have the ball late on exactly where they want it. And now they're maybe looking at the bonus ball, hoping they can find a winning goal in stoppage time at Fir Park, as George Harmon strolls across with not a great deal of urgency to take this corner kick. Motherwell hoping to win the game, are now looking at not losing it late on. It's Harmon from the right-hand side who fires in the corner. What an opportunity, what a chance to steal all 3 points late on for Ross County. It was Will Nightingale, probably the last player they wanted to be on the end of that, but he was 6 yards out, got it on his right foot, fired it over the top, and it could so easily have flashed into the back of the net for a winning goal.
Yeah, all he had to do was concentrate and keep it down. He got a good contact on it, but as you say, just knocked over the crossbar.
The ball worked forward to Stamatolopoulos, who flicked the ball forward, but no takers on the end of the flick other than Ross Laidlaw, the Ross County goalkeeper, who tucks the ball under his arm, and he'll launch this down the pitch. And we don't have too much longer to play at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, Ross County 0. Is it going to be a goalless draw double to start the Premiership season? It looks very much that way. Paul McGinn does a spin away from Chilvers. Out to Ewan Wilson, shut down by Ifete. Forced to play the ball back to his goalkeeper, Oxborough. Well, they need the ball forward quickly, Motherwell, if they are to create one last opportunity to win the game. Ryan Leake's header away. Ross County looking pretty tidy at the moment, and they work the ball forward to Alex Samuel, who, whatever he does, is always occupying the opposition defence, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's not a natural goal scorer, but he likes the physical side of the game, and he's putting the defender under pressure there as Motherwell start getting slack, and the crowd realise Stuart Kettlewell wants the ball forward. Yeah,
groans in the main stand as Dan Casey's pass failed to find Ewan Wilson, and Ifete flings the ball forward for Ross County. We're in the closing moments of this match at Fir Park, and it's a free kick for the home team, and you'd imagine it's going to be everyone forward at this stage. Maybe the goalkeeper takes the free kick, and Motherwell get all the outfield players on the end of this to try and convert 1 point into 3. The Motherwell fans telling Aston Oxborough to get on with it. Finally gets it forward. Stephen O'Donnell flicks the ball inside. Ross County get it away and managed to keep the ball in as well. Good play from Noah Chilvers, and he knocks it across the pitch towards Conor Randall, who suddenly found a bit of mobility.
I was thinking the same.
There's full time, there's the whistle at Fir Park, and it's a point apiece, and it's a shake of the head from a lot of Motherwell fans around us who've seen their team create plenty in the game. All they couldn't find was a finishing touch, and in the end Ross County will feel that they deserve what they've got. It's a Premiership point on the opening weekend for Don Cowie and his team. Motherwell will reflect on plenty of opportunities, none taken, and it finishes here Motherwell 0, Ross County 0.
On